A very good morning on another nice and sunny day from South Croydon. Um, Something I just learned, the word nice is rooted in the Latin for ignorance, which I find quite interesting because I pride myself on not being so, on not being someone who sets out to be nice. I think you're either nice or you're not nice. You shouldn't have to try to be anything you either you are or you are not. So that kind of made me smile after a fashion. Give me a second. Yeah, so nice is rooted in the word ignorance. Right, so anyway, let me just go straight into what I'm here to talk about. First of all, I'm going shopping to pick up something for dinner for my sister, which is ironic given that I'm not really partial to food. And at a time like this, if I was back in my own domain, I don't think I would be eating anything today. I would be drinking, because there are times when I don't have an appetite for food. Talking about nice meaning ignorant, ignorant meaning nice. Ignorant people, nice people would be concerned and would be worried that I'm not eating. But I think it's ironic. It's a day of ironies. It's ironic that I'm going out to look for something. I did ask her what she wants. That I'm going out to get food for my sister and not for myself. I would have no cause to go out today, but I guess I can use this shopping expedition as a way of getting some sunshine. So it's going to be another nice, slow, leisurely walk for me. Right, so I mentioned in yesterday's birthday video that today is the day of my mother's funeral. I have no idea what time the service starts, but I'm not blaming anyone for not telling me, because if I wanted to know, I could very easily find out. But I don't know. But I didn't know how today was going to be, not necessarily because I was going to be feeling sad or anything like that. I just, you never know how you're going to wake up kind of thing on a day-to-day basis. Especially what with me not being in the best of health the past couple of weeks. But I woke up this morning feeling fantastic, health-wise as well. And with the thought that, because I was kind of thinking, well, I'm going to sort of see how my sister feels, because she might be processing she might be processing the whole situation, the day of the funeral, the fact she can't go, in a different way to how I'm processing it. But then the thought, and this thought has come to mind before actually, that my mother, from what I was told, didn't actually want a funeral. She wanted to go straight from the mortuary to the crematorium, but the people who are arranging the funeral decided to go against her wishes and give her a funeral. So if you want to look at it this way, by not going to the funeral, I am actually honoring her wishes in that she didn't want a funeral. I'm not saying that this is the reason why I'm not going, because I'm honoring. It's just worked out that way. The other thing that came to me this morning is that I'm not responsible for how my sister feels. I've said before many times that I told her not to go back to work when she first got ill and recovered. No, while she was in the process of recovering, I told her not to. But then when she got better, the first thing she did was contact work and to let them know she was coming back. She went back and lasted 2.5 days. When I told her not to go, it was spiritual. And the thing is, I know this. Sometimes God will use other people to warn us of danger, and to give us good advice. So, on my part, during the time I've been ill, since it wasn't this weekend, it was one previous. So that would have been Sunday would have been the 20th. So it's the 13th was the Saturday, I believe. Hold on, was it? No, so I was ill from the night of the 11th of March and lost my appetite and various other things, so it took me a while to get back to the point where I am now. I'm not 100% yet because appetite still isn't back properly, so if you like, I'm surviving on Lucozade, artificial energy. But I don't concern myself about such things. I do what I have to do, and I allow God to do the rest. Right, so from the moment that I declared myself not feeling well, I was getting all kinds of stupid advice and all sorts of weak people trying to grab hold of me to drag me down with them. Because as I've said, people don't generally appreciate my strength. It's as though they look forward to me being weak so that I can come and join them. So I've said many times since I realized that God will sometimes use illness as a means of taking you out of the equation to stop you doing something that you're not supposed to do, I've realized that it's not necessary to be sick. So for me, like normally when I am sick, it's a 1 day, 2 day process. But this time it was prolonged, and it's sort of like you learn things in hindsight. So I wouldn't, at this point, this will sound terrible the way I'm going to say this, I wouldn't at this point have the level of contempt that I do for the people who are trying to drag me down into weakness with them. But leading up to, in fact prior, some weeks before, in the month of February, at the gym, in the swimming pool, I did have people, and I've mentioned this before, where people tell me I'm lucky because I look a certain way, and there is no luck, it's effort. I've been looking after myself for a very long time, exercising, doing things proactively to, if you like, stay in shape, get in shape, stay in shape, whatever, to be healthy. And what I notice is, what I noticed during the month of February, because I was going to the gym every day, it was mental health. How is your mental health? And like my mother died on the 2nd of March, so when I mentioned it straight away, that was like, you can't be okay. Are you sure you're all right? You can't be. If you need somebody to talk to, come to me. And I'm thinking, why would I go to a weak person for a weak person to strengthen me? Doesn't work, does it? The weak cannot strengthen the strong. So I found the whole thing quite fascinating, but not in a good way. Even I could be going to the gym, like what I was doing before in the morning, but I am actually avoiding people. I said over the weekend to a couple of them that I'm never coming back in the morning because I just don't want them to speak to me. It sounds awful to say that, but I don't. I really don't want to have contact with these types of people ever again, because it has a way of it's like it draws energy from you spiritually, especially the fact that I wasn't well, and I had people sort of grabbing at me, trying to persuade me to let them be my strength, and they themselves are weak. They're not the type of people I would go to if I was looking for any kind of support, mentally, spiritually, or otherwise. So that was that. So then yesterday on my birthday, at the time when it was announced the funeral was going to be on the 24th of this month, March, the day after my birthday, I knew it was no coincidence. One of my friends said to me yesterday that it's good that it wasn't on your birthday, and I thought, why? It's just the 23rd of March is a day, the 24th of March is a day. There are 365 days in the year. These are just days. Why would it make any difference whether my mother's funeral was on my birthday? Is it to suggest that every year on my birthday I'm going to be depressed? Because I don't think like that, and I don't have those types of emotions that cause me to dwell on certain days of the year, or to be morbid about things. Like my good friend Margaret, her birthday falls on the day when my sister died in 1992. I mentioned it to her the other day, and she didn't say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," because she knows me well enough. We've known each other for over 25 years. She knows me well enough to know that I'm not weak and soft like that. It's just, if you want to call it coincidence, it just happened that my sister died on the day of her birthday. We didn't know each other at the time. Right? There are only 365 days in the year, and there are billions of people on the planet who need to share those 365 days for their various occasions. No day is special or set apart for any one person, in order to avoid their feelings being hurt. It's life, and we have the 365 days as a resource, and things are gonna happen, and we just get on with it. So yesterday, much to my surprise, and I'm not being cynical here, I had so many personal birthday greetings, mostly by WhatsApp. Lots of people just wishing me a happy birthday. And thus far today, hi, you alright? Thus far today, it's now just coming up to 11 in the morning. I've not had any messages, phone calls or anything, and I know why. Because people are respecting the day, and they probably think I'm going through something, and it's a hard emotional time for me at the moment. It's not hard, it's not emotional, and it's no different to yesterday. It's another beautiful sunny day, and as I said from the very beginning, since the beginning of human existence, people have been dying. People are being born. They live for a set amount of years, and then they die. That's what happened. That's the process of life. So, for me, obviously, I knew at some point that people I know, family members, are going to die. I mean, even when my sister died, I knew she was going to die because we were told her heart was only working 30%. But I imagined to myself that she would actually weaken, go into hospital, get sick and die. I didn't think she was going to go to bed and die. So, of course, that was a shock. But I mean, equally, like with my mother, as strong as an ox. But her problem was she put her trust in doctors. I happen to think doctors who, well, I find a lot of them to be quite arrogant. I don't deal with them. So, like when I was ill, it didn't even occur to me that I should consult a doctor. Right? If I've said before, if I need to see a doctor, then I've failed. Right? So, on my mother's part, I used to try and talk sense into her. If whatever the doctor tells her, that is what she would do. And for me, doctors who are given so much power, literally people put their lives into their hands. Doctors who are not God. Doctors who cannot give life but can take life. All right, maybe you can argue they can save lives, but they cannot give life. They cannot create life, rather. And at the end of it, when they've done all they claim that they can do, they're going to turn around and tell that person who's put all their confidence in them that there's nothing more that we can do. That's what they say to them. Now, some people, a doctor might tell them that, and they might say, yeah, I'm going to prove you wrong. And there are others who doctor says you're going to die, and they accept it, they take it to heart. I've seen this before. I knew someone, and he was diagnosed with cancer, and he didn't last long, even though he believed in God. I mean, each individual are entitled to believe what they believe, to feel what they feel, and to do whatever they feel inclined to do. But I guess on my part, I can only ever speak for myself. As much as I'm not into feelings and emotions, I go with my feelings, not in a weak way, but on a day like today, I don't feel sad in any way, shape or form. As I've said, I don't know what time the funeral gets underway. I don't have any details or anything. I'm not blaming anybody for not telling me, because as I've said, if I'd wanted to know, I could have made the effort to find out. But it is interesting. This is the main point, that yesterday I was inundated with messages from people, even people who've never bothered with my sister in the 2 years almost that I've been there, single-handedly trying to bring her back to good health. And I think I don't know, maybe it's because it's a yearly tradition, and people are used to being greeting and being greeted during the yearly traditions, birthdays, Christmas, those New Year's, those types of things. Maybe because people are used to it, why they can so easily get in contact, but not in a situation where they could perhaps physically help out. Like, my brother came over on Sunday and he cleaned the kitchen and he sorted out dinner for my sister, and that was a big help. He also went shopping, so he came back to the flat with loads of practical food, if you like, which was a massive help. So can you imagine if during these 2 years we'd had maybe somebody popping in even once a month, once a fortnight, once a week. I mean, maybe once a week might have been too much, but you know what I mean. But on this 1 year, this 1 day of year, my birthday, very quick to get in touch and wish me a happy birthday and wish me all the best. And as far as I'm concerned, if you wish someone all the best, then you would be concerned about what concerns them. So I just found that interesting anyway. And I can tell you quite categorically that today, those people who got in contact with me to wish me a happy birthday are foolishly sitting there giving me a moment, thinking that on this day of my mother's funeral, it's going to be hard for me. It isn't. It's not hard at all. It's life, and we get on with it. So anyways, I'm going to wind up here. Not sure what the weather's going to be like tomorrow, but I've had 2 beautiful days where I've been able to stretch my legs in the sunshine. And I'm a simple creature. I don't need much from life to make me happy, but sunshine is one of them. I love when the sun comes out, so making the most of it. All right, so guys, have a wonderful day and look after yourselves. Take care. Bye bye.